Oops. Are you fucking paranoid? You find you'll be walking through a parking lot like this at the university, and all of a sudden some guy like the guy in this silver van will just back in and be sitting there. Well, if that happens to you, first let me explain a little bit about who I am. My name is Darryl Hooper. You might remember my brother, Harold Hooper. Harold Hooper, he played Mr. Hooper on the very famous television series Sesame Street. Now, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to sell you any shitcoin or any Bitcoin or any titcoin. What I recommend that you do is that you get ready to shit punch somebody. Now, obviously, this guy in the silver Jeep, or silver van, sorry, was picking somebody up. And that works perfect. But if you want to shit punch somebody, you shit punch him good. Obviously, something just ended because this person walked out of this building and got picked up as well. But sometimes you'll notice a van will pull in like that, and it'll just stay there, and then it'll leave right after you walk by. When that happens, I recommend you shit punch him, and you shit punch him good. And by shit punch, I mean you just stand there. I was prepared and willing to walk right up to the door of that van and film that guy until he had to take a shit. Because if I saw him pull in, especially if I got it on film, see, watch, sometimes you'll see people leaving too when you start talking about shit punching somebody. Yeah, you just stand there and you film them until they have to take a shit. I mean, it'll suck if you have to take a shit first, but before you go for a walk, make sure you don't have to fucking take a shit. You know what I mean? I'm just picking up a little extra footage because that lady seems to be very concerned. But actually, concern is a good thing. People that are concerned are actually real people, for the most part. A lot of people that seem to be just driving around, aimlessly driving around, but they seem to be right there wherever you go. Of course, when you know people like Outlaw Smurf like I do, I mean, shit like that tends to happen to you a little bit more often than not. I'm not going to say that he's involved in extracurricular shady activities that might warrant the authorities keeping an eye on him, but I'm not going to say he isn't. This, by the way, I'm just interrupting your internet viewing pleasure again with another long ad that'll go on and on and on. I'll keep fucking talking until you hit skip ad. But I know if you've made it this far, you're already concerned that this might be happening to you. Now, it might be the authorities, it might be gang stalking. It could be any number of things that are starting to pop up. It could be military AI drone testing and whatnot. Or it could just be somebody coming to pick up their boyfriend and give him a little Jeep home, if you know what I mean. Anyways, this is an infomercial. And like I say, this infomercial will go on and on and on until you hit skip ad. I can't see anybody at anything around here that looks unusual. or anybody that's just sort of sitting here ever since I got here. I can't, there is, it's a very busy area today here. There must be something going on at the Skona Pool. But I sure am in the mood to shit punch somebody. I love a good old-fashioned shit punch. There's nothing more than the joy I get of seeing somebody who's caught in a position and they think they're in a position of power, and then they have to shit themselves right in front of you on film. Wouldn't that be marvelous? Interesting, you just pulled in there, girly poo. Oh, it's me, Darryl Hooper again. So this girl in the silver car, oh yeah, and you want to let a little rip go too. Does that mean that you have to take a shit? That little rip that came from your car? Sometimes I notice automobiles, drivers drive them and they make the sounds sort of like, oh, here she comes again. And now I noticed she had pulled in there, and I kept walking down the street. I'm a little farther down the road from the university. You can see it over there by the Skona Pool where I just was. It's me again, interrupting your viewing pleasure. Now she's turned around, and she's not going anywhere. It looks like she's going to turn right back onto the trail. But you can see her track marks there still. She had pulled in, and I thought, well, now the audacity after I just explained a shit punch, and she didn't get out. I walked down all the way down, and nobody got out. Now that's another scenario that makes me paranoid in this day and age. I'm like, what's somebody doing? They stop to rub one out, or there's a convenience store right here. And now look, this person is getting out of their vehicle. Now that looks real to me. I mean, if you're gonna pretend you're James Bond or something like that, or you're getting paid by some company, there's a lot of corporate companies that are paying people to do a lot of things that aren't quite under government regulation. I mean, they are. That guy's talking on his cell phone, Mr. BVB. You're lucky I can't see as good as I used to be able to. But see, the guy in the red car, when somebody doesn't get out, I get a little paranoid. And then when they go all the way down there, I mean, if she wanted to go back out, why didn't she turn down here or something? But I bet you dollars to donuts and fucking dairy wastes to fucking dink bands. I don't even know what that means, but I've got a lot of time to kill, because this thing will go on forever until you hit skip ad, or until you have to take a shit. So the next line of traffic catches up. Sometimes it's taken me fucking 20 or 30 hours to get across this street. Normally I'm on my chopper too. I got a big fucking chopper. I spent my life savings on it. But every once in a while I like to get a little exercise. I'm getting up there in age. Oh, it's me again. Darryl Hooper. The Hoop, they like to call me. You know, when people just pull in somewhere, though, as I was explaining earlier in the infomercial, and you just wonder, it's not like you've got 70 or 80 pounds of mushrooms in your backpack or anything like that. But it just makes you wonder what in hell's going on, right? So it's always good to see. It's always good to make sure. Now, I'm going to keep this infomercial will keep playing until you hit skip ad. or until you're laughing so hard because somebody's shitting themselves. The thing is either way you win. Now, I can't think of any scenarios that, I mean, it doesn't look, there's nothing suspicious going on here today where people are just pulling up and randomly doing weird things. You know, this guy here just missed the door. He thought he was going somewhere, and then, well, he had to go take a shit. He's gonna stop up here and maybe try. Or maybe he isn't. No, he's gonna, what's he gonna do? If I wasn't filming this infomercial, it might be interesting. And he seemed to be well aware that I was. So he's gonna just continue his journey on. I don't know what he thought he was gonna do at an oil parts company. Maybe he was gonna sell them some pipe. He had some pipe or something shoved up his ass, and he was gonna see if they wanted to buy it or something. Anyways, this is gonna continue on until you hit skip ad, or until you realize what the fuck is happening. Either way, I'm Darryl Hooper. Happy shitting.